Hello, everyone. Welcome to the EjG3 show. This is your host, EjG3. In this episode, I will discuss the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. Also, the five quarterbacks from each conference that had something to prove. This list does not mean winning a Super Bowl, but it's just something to prove in my eyes. Also, Aaron Rodgers not playing in the preseason. A big deal or no big deal? We'll discuss that. So let's start with this. Top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. Number one, I got Patrick Mahomes, three-time Super Bowl champion, best quarterback in football, I believe. I think his IQ is the best. He doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. I believe Andy Reid is a big part of that, but I think he's so gifted. Definitely in the playoffs. He knows the situation. You know, last year, everyone was saying they don't have the wide receivers, which I kind of I agree with that. But the guy just got it done. He didn't make excuses. He got better throughout the playoffs. And I think he's also a great pocket passer, but he makes plays with his feet. And I think he's probably the most dangerous runner in football. I know we don't think of him as Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, but Patrick Mahomes, when he runs, his game is just a different level. I mean, he's so dangerous. That's why I think he's number one. And obviously with the championships. Number two, Josh Allen. I think he's a really gifted quarterback. I think he can run, he can throw. And in the playoffs, he's been excellent. The only problem is he's ran into Patrick Mahomes, which everybody hasn't really beat Patrick Mahomes. And he gets a lot of criticism for that, but two out of the three playoff games versus Patrick Mahomes, he played terrific. Tyler Bass lost that game. Sean McDermott lost the 13-second game. That wasn't on Josh Allen. And we'll see what Josh Allen does this year without Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. I think he will be fine. I think they have enough weapons. I think Curtis Samuel, Dalton Kincaid, James Cook. I think Keon Coleman will be a good player. So I'm very interested in seeing what Josh Allen does. But in my eyes, he's the second best quarterback in the NFL. Number three, Joe Burrow. Cool Joe. I think he's probably the best pocket passer in the league. I think he's better than Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. And to me, Joe Burrow, the only concern is his injuries. I think this year he'll be healthy. I think he'll be excellent. He'll be one of the best quarterbacks this year. And that's why I had number three. And I think he has great weapons. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I think they'll be unbelievable. I love how they have an offensive coach, Dak Taylor. So Joe Burrows, to me, is the third best quarterback in the NFL. And to be honest with you, he's really close to number two. I mean, it's inches, not feet. I mean, I saw him dice up the Buffalo Bills defense. I saw him dice up the Chiefs defense. He's a smart player. I think he's going to have a great year this year. Number four, two-time MVP winner, Lamar Jackson. He can run. The Ravens finally have weapons for him. And I get it. Oh, he doesn't play well in the playoffs. Which is true. He hasn't showed up. But he's so good. He's a top four quarterback in this league. I don't want anybody saying that he's not. He's a good runner. He wins 70% of his games. And Lamar Jackson, to me, is the fourth best quarterback in the NFL. Now, there could be a conversation held, well, he's better than Josh Allen and Joe Burrow because they don't have MVPs. Um, I totally disagree. Josh Allen's bigger. He's he has a better arm. He has more playoff success. I think Josh Allen's 5-5 in the playoffs. Joe Burrow, been to a Super Bowl, has better playoff success. That's why I have him at those two above Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson's a special talent. I think he's a great quarterback, and I think he will absolutely win a Super Bowl. Hopefully, because I would love to see it. But I don't think he's better than Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. And I do believe he's going to have an excellent year this year. Number five, I'm a huge Matthew Stafford fan. I think he has a gifted arm. I think he finally has an offensive coach in Sean McVay, who he has a Super Bowl with. And I think he's a great leader. He had nothing with the Lions, but when he's put with great talent around him, he's a special player. And Matthew Stafford, to me, is the fifth best quarterback in the NFL. Absolutely. You know, going against the Bengals in that Super Bowl, leading that team, that final drive, that was insane. That was unbelievable. That's what clutch players do, and he's a clutch player for sure. So Matthew Stafford's number five. Number six, I think he, to me, is the best quarterback in the draft last year, CJ Stroud. I think he's talented. I think he's the best quarterback in the division, the AFC South division. I think this guy is going to have an unbelievable season with Stephon Diggs. I think people say, oh, the sophomore slump. I don't think this guy's going to have a sophomore slump. I think this guy is the real deal. I think he could possibly be the second best quarterback behind Patrick Mahomes. He's good. First the Browns. I was like, what? This guy is dusting up one of the best defenses last year. And I think he'll have a better season this year than last year, even though last year was unbelievable. I think he's only going to get only better. So I got CJ Stroud number six. Number seven, I'm going with the great talent. He still needs to prove something to me, but Justin Herbert. I think Harbaugh will help him be a better quarterback going forward. He didn't have good coaches. Brandon Staley was awful. Awful. He was the worst coach in the NFL last year. So I got Justin Herbert number seven. And plus, I know he hasn't had a playoff success, but he was pretty good in his first game, even though he and the defense and Brandon Staley blew the lead to the Jaguars. So I'm going with his best talent at number seven. Number eight, I'm going with Jordan Love. Again, he was unbelievable last year. Versus the Cowboys, I was shocked. He proved me wrong. I think those young wide receivers and Matt LaFleur, I think this guy's the roof. He could be the best quarterback in the NFC. Who knows? But I was very impressed when I saw from him down the stretch. Well, does he still need to play more games to be a big time elite quarterback? For sure, for sure. But Jordan Love versus Dak Prescott, I think you easily saw who the better quarterback was in that game. So I'm going with Jordan Love at number eight. Number nine, I love him a lot. I don't know why a lot of people kind of bang on him. I get there's a ton of talent around him. But I'm going with Brock Purdy. The San Francisco 49ers with Jimmy G and Trey Lance did not do what this young man is doing. He's putting up numbers like nobody else. Oh, he's a system quarterback. Everyone's a system quarterback. And you know what? He's playing in with the system. Now, we'll see about the whole Brandon Ayuk situation. How will that affect Brock Purdy? But I think this guy has enough talent around him. I think he is the leader of that offense. Same with Christian McCaffrey. But I think this guy drives the bus. I really do. And I think Brock Purdy is going to have an unbelievable year, and I think he's going to shut some haters up. And number 10, I got Jared Goff. I think this guy's big. I think he's a good pocket passer. I think the Lions have never won. But when Jared Goff got there, they're winning. Now I get they have a great wide receivers, they have a good running back, they have a good offensive line, they have a good offensive coordinator. But I think Jared Goff, the guy made it to a Super Bowl without these great weapons. And he's a great quarterback. Or not a great quarterback, but he's a top 10 quarterback for sure. Now, I get it. There's a lot of people that could be in the discussion. I think Kirk Cousins can be in the discussion. I want to see him bounce back from the Achilles. I want to see Jalen Hurts. To me, last year or 2 years ago, he was a top 10 quarterback when he made it to the Super Bowl. Last year, the last few games, he melted. He melted down. They were like 10-0, and they lost the division. He was unbelievable at the start. With the injuries, with the Nick Sirianni, I want to know what happened down the stretch, but that's why I got him outside the top 10, around 11 or 12 ish range. Dak Prescott, people want to compare him to Brock Purdy. Oh, Dak has amazing weapons. Brock Purdy also has amazing weapons. Who's doing more? Brock Purdy. So that's why Dak Prescott's not in the top 10. And plus, is he going to get a contract? Jerry doesn't want to pay him. It doesn't seem like it. So that's why I'm a little worried. Plus, I know Dak struggles in the playoffs. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He sets a lot of numbers in the regular season, which that matters. At least he gets to the playoffs. But he's also around that 11 and 12 ish range. Tua, he's not in the top 10 for me. I think he has amazing weapons like Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy he just plays better. Tua melts in the biggest game. I didn't think Brock Purdy melted in the Super Bowl. I didn't think Brock Purdy melted in the NFC Championship game. He rise to the occasion, and Tua melts. Maybe because he's, I don't know, afraid of cold weather. I don't know. I mean, but he's a good quarterback, but just not top 10. And Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he could also be in the discussion, but I haven't seen him play in a while because of the Achilles. And to me, the last time we saw Aaron Rodgers healthy, he wasn't a top 10 quarterback. He was disastrous his last season uh, in Green Bay. He was atrocious. He couldn't get along with his young wide receivers, who were good, by the way, in Green Bay. Because Jordan Love is succeeding. So I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is a top 10 quarterback in this league. To be honest with you, I think Aaron Rodgers is like the 16th best quarterback in the NFL. Not even joking. I think Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels would be better this season than Aaron Rodgers. I gotta see. I haven't seen Aaron Rodgers in a while. All right, now here's a list that I'm fascinated. And this is my list. I created it, and I said QBs who I believe that have something to prove That doesn't mean winning a Super Bowl, but just something to prove. Now we're going to do each conference. We'll start with the NFC. Number one, I'm going to go with Dak Prescott. Doesn't have a contract. Yeah, he has 1 year remaining. Is Jerry going to sign him? Are the Cowboys going to make it to the playoffs? I don't think so. I don't. I don't think the Cowboys are better this year than last year. So can Dak Prescott drive the bus for the Cowboys? I don't think so. I mean, they only have one great weapon in CD Lamb, and I don't think Dak Prescott is the Josh Allen, Lamar, Joe Burrow, the guys who can just carry a team. Number two, Daniel Jones. New York is a hard place to play because you have the media, you have all the attention. Daniel Jones has not lived up to expectations. He's been one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. I think you saw it Hard Knocks. They all wanted to draft Drake May. And if Daniel Jones wants to keep playing for the New York Giants, he has to be good. He just does. And the preseason game that he had against Houston Texans, he threw two picks. How? You're a starter. A pick six? Are you serious? You've been playing in this league for 5 to 6 years. That's a rookie mistake. And plus, it's preseason. How bad are you? So he needs to really improve. Kirk Cousins is number three. I want to see how he bounces back from the Achilles. I think he left a great team with good wide receivers and Justin Jefferson and a great coach for Minnesota. But Kirk Cousins, he's a guy known for getting the bag. I think he's a good quarterback, but you got Michael Penix Jr. right behind him. If he doesn't play well this year, Michael Penix is going to start next year. He is. These owners are billionaires, and if Michael Penix Jr. is ready to play, they're just going to get rid of him. And I'm excited to see Kirk Cousins in a lot of Falcons. I think they'll be good, but we'll see. We'll see. I hope Kirk Cousins plays because I think he's a good player and I think he's a great teammate. But he's known for getting the bag. Number four, Jalen Hurts. He melted down last season. I thought this guy would be a top four quarterback. He digressed. Is he the best quarterback in this division? I'm not sure. Like I said, Dak Prescott needs to prove something to Jerry Jones. But how good is Jalen Hurts? I don't know. He had one really good season, and that was the Super Bowl year. Can he bounce back? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think they're gonna be good. I think they're Super Bowl contenders. But Jalen Hurts needs to improve the passing and also stay healthy because he's a runner, and if his knees are bothering him, he won't be an efficient passer. He's going to be struggle running, and I think his running makes him a great player. I think number five is pretty easy. Kyler Murray. I think he's done nothing in the NFL. He made it to the playoffs and he put up a stinker. This guy can run, he can throw the ball, but what has he proved? Nothing. And the Arizona Cardinals, they could be looking for a quarterback next year. I'm excited to see what Kyler Murray does coming back from his injury 2 years ago. But Kyler Murray, he needs to prove me something. Prove that he's a leader. Prove that he's mature. So I'm interested in seeing what Kyler Murray does in the Arizona Cardinals too, because when Kyler Murray is hot, I think he could be a top 10 quarterback easily. Now let's go to the AFC side. I'm going to start with a great talent from Clemson, Trevor Lawrence. I think he has top 10 talent, but last year, what was that? Down the stretch, you needed one game to win versus the Titans to get in the playoffs. And he didn't do that. He lost. What was that? You know what? You were the number one seed and he melted down. Now, yes, I get it. He was a little injured, a little banged up. But this is football. You're banged up. I don't want to hear excuses. And he played. He played a lot of games down the stretch. He melted down. Can Doug Peterson get Trevor Lawrence back on track? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. So I'm excited to see. I think he has a lot of talent, but we can't put great talents on a pedestal. We can't. So he needs to prove something to me. Not by winning a championship, but hey, is he a top six quarterback in the AFC? Because he's not better than Allen. He's not better than Joe Burrow. He's not better than Lamar. I don't think he's better than Herbert. I think Tua's proved more success than him. So I don't know. Can Trevor Lawrence be up in that tier? We'll have to find out. Number two, we also put this talent on a pedestal. He has zero playoff wins, but I think he's a great talent. And I think he had terrible coaches. Justin Herbert. Buddy, you need to win games. No more excuses. You have a great coach now. Can Justin Herbert be a leader without Keenan Allen, without Mike Williams, without Austin Eckler? Can he drive the bus? I think he can, but he needs to prove to me, hey, I can win in the playoffs. I can get to the playoffs. So I do think Justin Herbert has something to prove. Because same with Trevor Lawrence. We can't put this guy on a pedestal. Oh, he has amazing arm talent. A lot of these quarterbacks have great arm talent. That's why they're in the NFL. And Justin Herbert's big, strong, but I want wins. I just haven't seen a lot of that. Number three, Russell Wilson. Hey, Russell Wilson, you're on your last leg with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think if he plays bad, if Russell Wilson plays bad, which team would want to sign him? He would be like Cam Newton, a distraction. We don't want this big time player being our second string quarterback. Russell Wilson needs to prove, hey, I can play in this league. He was awful in Denver. He was one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. And be a dude. Be that dude who can play football. Yes, he played better than his first year last year in Denver. But Russell Wilson, the Steelers have expectations every year, championship or bust. And you have a great defense, and you have not played well in the preseason. Now, does preseason matter? A little bit, but not really. But you got to show me something. So I think Russell Wilson's number three. I think number four, I think Tua. Last year, a lot of people said, can this guy play well in cold weather? The answer is no, not really. So he needs to prove me, hey, in the cold weather, I can play good. And you have Jalen Waddle and you have Tyreek Hill. You have great weapons. You have better weapons than most of these top QBs. And he hasn't played well against good teams. He can beat the cupcake teams. He can. But Tua, he's a small quarterback. But him and Mike McDaniel, They're pretty good together. I think Tua is a good quarterback, but he needs to play better against elite teams. Number five, Aaron Rodgers. I want to see him. Can he recover from his Achilles injury? Can he play good? Last year in Green Bay, he was not good. He was not good at all. And I want to see him play well for the Jets. I think it would be fascinating if the Jets made it to the playoffs. But Aaron Rodgers, he's been a little bit of a diva. I'm not sure him and Robert Saleh get together well. Like, are they good buddies? I don't know. It seems like a rocky relationship. And Aaron Rodgers, like I said before, his last season in Green Bay was not good. He couldn't beat Jared Goff and the Lions. And 4 plays in his Jets career, Achilles tears. So I think Aaron Rodgers has a lot to prove. He's not a top 10 quarterback in my eyes. And he's a distraction. Is he a leader? I'm not sure. So I'm fascinated to see what Aaron Rodgers does this season. And I think he has a lot to prove. Now, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, he didn't play at all in the preseason. And people say, oh, is it a big deal? I don't know. I mean, preseason is garbage. I don't think you need a whole lot of work. I think these joint practices help a lot. And Aaron Rodgers, if he gets hurt, Robert Saleh's out. So Robert Saleh's probably like thinking, should I play him? Should I not? Or maybe Aaron Rodgers has total control in the Jets organization. Be like, yeah, I'm not playing in preseason. I don't know. So do I think it's a big deal? I don't. I really don't. I think, a couple players, Matthew Stafford didn't play in the preseason. Is that going to affect, the Rams? Could be, but I don't think so. I think the Rams are going to be good this year. I think Matthew Stafford's going to be excellent. Uh, I just don't think it matters preseason. And Aaron Rodgers has been in the building for a long time. He knows the NFL. He doesn't need preseason. And also, Aaron Rodgers, something that he needs to prove to me, he's 40 years old. Can he be a Tom Brady play up to 45? I don't think so. The team really love football. And the Jets have major expectations. And will they reach those expectations? I'm not sure yet. I mean, I'll make my predictions soon, but right now, no, no, I don't think they will get to the Super Bowl because I think there's better teams, and I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is healthy. I got to see him play versus the 49ers. And I'm I'm just saying to those Jets fans, I would be worried. How healthy is this guy? He couldn't play or practice in the rain a couple days ago. So Aaron Rodgers, he does have something to prove. And no, I don't think playing in the preseason is a big deal. I want to touch this sensitive subject about Brian Flores and Tua. And, you know, Tua basically said it on a Dan Laboratory date, you don't, called this person a terrible person. Um, you know, I guess Flores said that you suck every day, etc. And you have Mike McDaniel, who's been a real supportive of Tua. And you can be coached differently, you can be treated differently. But you have to have respect both ways. And Tua clearly did not respect Flores. Flores clearly did not respect Tua because Flores wanted Justin Herbert, which Justin Herbert's a great talent, but Tua so far has been better than Herbert in my eyes. For now, I mean, although I believe Justin Herbert's better than him, but Tua on the field has more success, which I don't blame him. And you know, you always want that guy in your corner, and I totally understand that. For me, I want someone who's supportive of me, not bashes me every second. And I agree. Now, as far as a terrible person, I don't know. I don't know what those conversations were like. I think Flores, he actually did a good job in Miami. His special teams and defenses were good. He just didn't get along with Tua. He didn't. Flores really didn't really know offense that well. And Flores, can he get a second head coaching job? Absolutely. I believe in second chances. I think to me, Flores is a great coach, going to be a good coach. And I just believe in him. I think Flores, I think he said, I learned from my mistakes. I'll be better. And I believe his word. All right, signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Bye.